Oh yeah, glory to Raptoria. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at the third update for Timberborn. Now, by the way, Timberborn has a big O sale going on right now until January 5th on Steam, so make sure you check it out, as this game has a lot to do with terraforming, gathering resources, making food, and of course farming that way, and it's just a lot of fun. We've taken a look at all the other updates for the game, and the third one now is surely going to impress with its ability to have some quality of life improvements to recycling buildings and presenting resources better. And today's video is sponsored by the developers of Timberborn as well. So if you'd like to check it out for yourself, check the link in the description. That'll be a fast way to get to it if you're interested in picking it up. Now, speaking of picking it up, we're going to pick up the pace here and jump right in to a trailer for all the new stuff in Timberborn, and we're going to cover it as we start from scratch in today's video. If you've had previous saves, by the way, in the game for Update 2, you'll have to start from scratch as there's plenty of new things, so make sure you keep that in mind when you update today. All right, let's check it out. Yes, there's two different beaver factions, too. So we have the Folktail and the Iron Teeth. The Iron Teeth kind of remind me of like a dystopian future or like a cyberpunk faction. And the Folktails kind of remind me of just ones who respect nature and really want to try to renew the environment in order to salvage it to live in, which is pretty cool. They've also done a golem redesign too in this game, and in addition to that, of course, some quality of life improvements that pop up the UI a little bit better, and a few more things for the robots too. But you'll see that in the trailer. So let's go as the Folktails, and let's get our city started. Go. There they come, our little beaver friends. Fantastic. And we're in the classic map, too, with the winding river that serves as a perfect reservoir for farming and other things, with the nice little lake at the bottom. Oh, things already appear new, I can see. All right, we got ourselves some beavers that we need to house and get going with some storage things. So let's go ahead and build ourselves a path. And let's get started by connecting it maybe over here. Get them blueberries, too. So let's go ahead and make let's make a nice little entrance going down this way, you know, like a main entryway or something like that, and we'll make room for decorations and more. Put that away. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and start gathering some blueberries. So for that we need actually, let's take a look here. Anything new? Beehives and such. Oh yeah, grist mills, farmhouse. Okay, yep, standard things. All right, let's get that gathering post ready for blueberries. We need those for some basic food. Go ahead and also, oh yeah, now that we can demolish buildings, we can get resources back from them. So if we place a house somewhere where we don't want it, we can reclaim resources and build it somewhere else at ease, I guess. Pretty easy to do that. Go for a house here. And this will kind of be a placeholder for now. In fact, I think we can pause the construction if we want to and build things whenever. So we can lay it out in advance and then build it as time goes on. All right, these busy beavers aren't so busy right now. Go ahead and work on, let's see, a hauling post, drop-off point. Here's what we want, a lumberjack flag, and eventually to build a lumber mill. Get a few of our beaver friends on that. All right, cool. So we got berries being gathered now. We need some storage. Now, storage has been improved a bit in terms of presentation, so you can easily see what you got stored just at a glance without even having to go into UI, which is kind of nice. We can build storage piles. And can we build anything specifically for the logs, or have they redone that into the piles? Looks like they may have done that into piles now. Let's go ahead and start a pile. That's actually a small pile. Can we go with a large pile? Okay. Let's go with a large pile. Get started off that way. And then we should be able to haul things around too, so let's get that started. So that is under... Yep. Hauling post here. Build that maybe on this side. Alright, cool. So now we need to designate which trees can be cut down. We can also plant trees too. Let's go ahead and give the order for trees to be cut. We can go ahead and swoop this whole area and turn it green for the cutting area to go to these trees and gather them and cut them down. Cool. Alright, so the beaver will go into the woods, start gathering wood and bring it out, and then we'll start building some of our storage buildings and our little house down here, although that's on pause for now. So it should be getting started soon. Start with the large pile so we can bring over food. This won't last forever, so we need to make sure we've got more resources. So we'll need to do science in order to unlock additional buildings. And yeah, that's what that little padlock there at the bottom means with 60. So eventually we'll be able to do that. No problem for us Raptorians. We've got that covered. Let's get some more lumberjacks going. We want to cut down those trees ASAP, clear that area for, well, basically, I think we're going to build houses there. And then down here, I want to do some farming because this little bend in the river will be perfect for keeping the area fertile and hydrated for farming. It'll be perfect. Go ahead and get that started too. Ooh, end of the first day already. Busy little beavers. Let's do another lumberjack area here. And we'll start with 2, and we'll just make sure that we start cutting down trees ASAP. Alright, so 4 out of 6 logs. So 6 are needed for the large pile. I want that for both the logs and also the blueberries. So both are going to be needed. It's going to be kind of nice. And we also want to start building some homes too, to which we can build them on top of each other and build like large apartment complexes. If we build it a little further away from the road too, which we can easily do, we can actually make it a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and demolish the selected building. Which is interesting because we haven't put anything there. Are you sure you want to demolish? Yes, I'm clicking no. There we go. Typically it's on the left in most things. Muscle memory. Okay, let's go with a little house a little further away. We can add decor. We can add little stairwells and whatnot to go up to other levels of the apartment. So that'll be good. Let's build a path there. And we'll start with 1 at a time. Now, these are beavers. They live outside mostly in real life, but yes, they do want homes too. Beavers live indoors sometimes as well, so that'll be good. Okay, what do we got up here? All our transportation items and goods and stats on how many beavers and where they live, if they live anywhere. Go ahead and demolish this too. We can start filling this with water, and we'll start building some water pumps. Get that going. There we go. And we'll have to have some water storage nearby, too. Let's go with a little path. Now, our beavers are smart enough to be able to build TNT eventually. We can blow holes through these mountains if we want to. We can, for example, build a channel that goes down to this lake to fill it with water. Or we can build different types of levees and dams in order to control the water in other areas and make multiple reservoirs. So if we run out of one, we can build another and continue to survive time and time again. All the sleepy beavers. Sleepy Beaver. That sounds like a great name for a pub. Go with another gatherer flag, I think, down here for the berries. Every little bit of berries will count. It's going to be important to make sure we got all the little bit of food we can until we start farming, which won't be for a little bit. But blueberries are always good to add to things. I think eventually we can farm them. And we can also farm the trees, too. Once we've clear-cut all the trees, we can start farming different types of trees, too. Oak and pine, and I think there's also birch that we can also grow. And they have different grow times, and obviously the longer that they take to grow, the more wood that they'll produce. And that's really good for building, you know, bridges and things across the river if you want to. Or, of course, you can always make a little point for the beavers to walk across. Kind of like a little boat landing that they can walk into. All right, lots to build, lots to build. Let's go, boys. Another new day. Perfect. Berries are coming in. Excellent. And it looks like they're almost done with this. The large pile is being built now. Hey, there we go. And complete. Okay, so we can accept one type of good. We'll go ahead and put logs there. And then let's build a smaller storage. That's my first time seeing that. So it's not a mixed storage. It's a singular storage for one item. So knowing that, we'll probably build another one over there for blueberries. And we need to build a water tank, too, to store that water. So we need a storage for... Oh, yes, we can build the warehouses, too. Oh, interesting. It's got different shapes now. Alright, so that's a bulk storage for any major items, so things like planks and logs. But this is kind of more for perishable items, although I'm not sure if food ever goes bad. But we'll build that warehouse there, back to back on that side. There we go. Alright. Now we got multiple hauling posts going. Oh, let's designate these trees to cut. You guys can cut down these now, too. Oh, yeah, I always forget to click the other button. There we go. Right. So there's also metal wreck for us to pick up, like salvage and scrap, which we can go get iron from. And I think eventually there's like these bunkers we can go down into, and those will allow us to gather additional iron and maybe other materials, since they've added new stuff to the game. Who knows what else might not have been covered, like, for example, the golem redesign. I don't think it was a part of the trailer. And so there's a complete list on Steam, too. And that's pretty helpful to cover everything that might be new. Hey, dandelions are over here. I actually don't remember seeing those growing in the ground before. That's kind of cool. At least they look fresh and new. Fresh dandelions. How lovely. Alright, let's go ahead and continue to gather logs. Good. We'll have our hauling post up soon, but we're working on the... I think we should probably make this our top priority over here, so we can, of course, make a building high place construction, high place of work. And also we can make this high importance to demolish. So we're going to work on water now. So there's our little small tank. That's what I was looking for before. There you are. Alright, let's build a small tank. And we're going to need a few of them, actually. Let's build maybe... I feel like all the buildings at some point... I don't recognize all of the small features like that little door there. I don't know if that was there before, so everything feels like fresh and new. Even if they didn't change it because of the update, I'm just like... I don't know. I'm like imagining things like the butterfly effect? Or no, the Mandela effect. Where, of course, you think something happened when it didn't. Like, for example, what's his name not being a part of the Publishers Clearinghouse? Ed McMahon. He never did commercials for that, apparently. But I remember him. We all imagine that. Oh, boy. All right, now we're building water. Then we got to build water storage next. So that'll be our next priority. And we can store some berries there, too. But since a small storage is easy to build and easy to demolish, if we make a mistake in building that too early, or if nothing can be used there, we can just delete it. It's nice. And we get all the resources back, which is also nice. Oh man, those beavers are going to clear that forest out really quickly. We can also gather wood that's dried out or dead. So that's good. And we can also make a new region to go up here, this side. Pretty cool. A new district, if you will. Yeah. Alright, we'll build up there and start cutting down trees on this side. We need all the wood we can get early. Hey, there we go. Now we're making water. Fantastic. Make these a high priority too. Good, good. And we made this a log storage, but since we're using so much so quickly, it's going straight to the construction site. Alright, let's go back to our lumberjack flag and cut down some more trees up here. And the warehouse got a little bit of logs too. A little bit of loggage. Ah, there we go. 28 logs already. And water's starting to be stored here. I think they could drink from this pump, but it can only hold so much until it needs to go to one of the storage buildings here. So let's build another one, in fact. And our beavers are getting thirsty already. They're working hard. There we go. You'd think that these animals would be able to go down to the water and drink, but no, they're much more civilized, much more sophisticated than that, yes. They want their water, and they want it filtered and, you know, added minerals and whatnot. They're very picky. Very picky. Alright. This is going to be a top priority workplace, so that'll always have somebody working there. And we'll probably do the same for the second one. when we build it soon. All right, let's get ready to lay out additional houses. Something like this would look nice. We'll just start basic, and eventually we can work our way up to nicer houses. And we got to do some science. I'll put these houses on hold here. I think we can also use a mirrored version of the house, too. So if we don't like this, and we didn't want to do it this way, we can mirror it. And so that way it matches across the way. Yeah, check that out. Basically where we build the door. Okay, let's go ahead and pause. Yeah, we got one house complete. Nice. There's a lot to do. We got to worry about food and water. We got to worry about storage and jobs and make sure everybody's working. Bringing in stuff as we salvage it. And cutting down lots and lots of trees. So there's plenty to do. Plenty of those trees have disappeared already. Build that second water pump. Go ahead and make that medium priority now. We can also, I guess, prioritize things by queuing them up from highest to lowest. So we'll get that water pump done next. Okay. Hopefully everyone will be okay till tomorrow. And these two will be done, and we'll cut down these trees. There we go. And eventually we can regrow these. We can build little farms. It'll be perfect. Good. And luckily, I don't think we have to designate where berries are gathered from ever. But we do have new crop types, I think. At least ones that I've never grown before. I don't think I've ever gotten to building spatterdock. But there is cattails, wheat, potato, sunflower, and carrot. And we also have the ability to, I think, grow blueberries too. Oh, aquatic farmhouses, grills, grist mills, bakeries, and beehives. We can make all sorts of different foods from those in combinations. Like, for example, you can have a potato and then build a bakery and then make a baked potato, or a grill. That'll make a grill into a baked potato. Oh, little tutorial down here. Oh, perfect. Oh, wow, we've done already everything they want us to do. Oh, they want us to build a farmhouse now. Well, we need to get a little bit more into the water production, in my opinion. We'll do that soon. Good, our guys are coming over for a sip whenever they need. Good. No good selected. Ah, but it's not built, so that doesn't matter. Building lacks workers. Ah. Somebody will be able to work there soon, I think. Whenever. Oh, good. Our warehouse is done. Excellent. And now we're working on the water pump in District 1. So each of these districts can specialize in other things. So, for example, your first district will probably have a lot of housing and farms and water protection. Pretty much everything that you need in the game will probably be done in District 1 at some point. And especially things like science and large amount of people living there. But eventually you can transfer them to a different district, and they'll be able to transport things to that district too, so it can build. So if in District 1 you have a ton of materials saved up and want to quick build District 2, you can ship a lot of things over to District 2, including people, so that way they can live and work there. Oh, we have to collect new items too. Biofuel, maple syrup, water, catalyst, and medicine can all be stored at these tanks now. And I think they made it easily visible from the top of the tank too. So you'll be able to kind of see, if you have a massive tank of, like, let's say maple syrup, you'll be able to see it from afar. Another food type then. Very cool. All right, we just need to get logs going for this one. Oh, I set the work priority to high there, but not the material priority. There we go. That'll fix that. Cool. Yeah, so there's work priority at the bottom and construction priority at the top. So we need both of those up high for the water. It needs to be done quick. Cycle 1, Day 3. All right, eventually a drought will come in. And if you haven't seen it before, when droughts come in, they usually start at the start of a river, where you'll find a few rocks. That kind of indicates the start of a river. And the water will essentially be turned off for a number of days. So all the water that's in the river will eventually run out and evaporate as it reaches the edge of the map. And so you can actually build those dams and whatnot to stop that. We build like a dam down here, for example, and it'll keep all the water within this area. And it'll keep everything nice and fertile. We'll keep our water pumps gathering water if we need to. So building a dam is pretty important. Although, you could sneak by the first drought with just a a bunch of water stored up. You don't necessarily have to have it done by any time, but the sooner the better. You can always do like a no dam challenge if you want to, and that sure is a damn challenge. That is for sure. Hey, pump number 2 up. Good. Now we're pumping enough for the beavers to have water and enough to have a surplus. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and on-pause the hauling post. Haulers within a district carrying goods. Yep. We'll be able to... oh, and we get a bonus for that, 100%. Very nice. So I would imagine that allows us to carry more things faster that way. You have to use the materials to get it, but it's certainly a bonus for doing it. All right. Next, we're going to build these, so let's make these a higher priority. There we go. And you also can store water. Perfect. Cool, you can kind of see what the needs are, or what you've got pull up for general storage. So it's telling you basically, hey, you've got this much additional storage for water, or hey, you've got this much filled in total. So it's a good way to see at a glance if you have enough water storage or if you should build more. In this case, we're going to build a third one and let those pumps pump away. Never such a thing as enough water in this game. Always feel welcome to just keep on pumping. And you can always dump water back out into a reservoir, too. There's really neat and nifty ways to pump things around. If you love City Skylines Natural Disasters DLC, with all the pumping and water storage and whatnot, these types of things are definitely familiar to you. Like, for example, the water dump that shoots water out so you can store it somewhere and then basically pump it back into a reservoir. Like, for example, we could pump water out up here and don't have to build a canal to it. We could just use this to store water, pumping it in and out if we want to. So extra water could be dumped in here rather than using water tanks, and then we can pump it back into the city if we need to, or a different district if we want to. Oh, we can only store one thing here. All right, let's go with blueberries then for now, since we got plenty of that. And additional goods, let's go ahead and start storing planks whenever we can. All right. Well, we're going to try to just survive the first drought. Not a too tall of a feat, but certainly something you always want to do in this game. Oh, and that's nice. The game seems to automatically speed up when you hit nighttime. Does it actually go back to speed 1 when it's day? Oh, I thought we were on, like, speed 1 during the day. So it's automatically on speed 2. The one with, you know, Keanu Reeves and Willem Dafoe, apparently. Okay, let's go ahead and keep on building. So we've got pretty much everything built now except for homes. Let's give our guys some homes now. Now, they want us to start farming. I completely agree with that. There's a lot of things you got to build all at once in this game. But to show it and to build it at the same time is a feat. 2 feet. $5 foot long. Let's go ahead and build the little farmhouse here, I suppose. And we want more than one farmhouse. Typically, you could do one to plant and one to gather. We'll try to do that. And I think we'll just build it off this main road here. And we're going to move these lumberjack gathering places later and get rid of all these trees. We want them to go. We want them out of here, mister. All right, cool. A few more trees to go. Nice. And a few more trees up here. Oh, good. We're cutting down the dried out trees, too. Never enough wood in this game, for sure. And never enough berries and food. Alright, things are going well. 80 berries. 68 logs. Nice. Farmhouse going up. Good. Build another one after that. I think we're going to start with carrots to begin with, and then eventually we can build a potato farm, which can be easily baked, and then we can go on to wheat, which will use water power. Another great thing in this game is that there's wind and water power. We can actually build water wheels, which will take advantage of that and turn it into analog power. In other words, it's like a drivetrain, where a water wheel that's built here, for example, will need to connect it with like a drivetrain that goes all the way to a building. If you're a big fan of Factorio, for example, some of the stuff in this game really reminds me of it. Just a light touch of Factorio, just a sprinkling of the things that are fun to do in that game. When you're building, like, for example, conveyor belts in that game and connecting everything via power, sometimes the drivetrain and such kind of feels like connecting all that stuff to me. And I really like that. I like that it's not necessarily just a electric power, but that we can actually build like a physical power that has to, you know, continuously kind of provide a force. So once the drought hits, if we activate a dam or something like that, the water will stop and so will all the production. Now it's just more of a production bonus, and planks and things can only be made through that. There's a lot of bonuses that can be provided to those buildings too. So if you attach a water wheel to a farm, you're not going to get a bonus, but if you attach it to like a sawmill, and maybe even a science center, I don't even know if that's a thing. I think not, but it would be kind of cool. It's called the Inventor. Let's go ahead and build a couple of those so we can unlock new science. Let's go. Build those up here maybe. Start with a couple. And we'll get some more beavers working. Up there too. Nice. Well, happy to see all the water coming in for storage. We actually might be almost maxed out. So kind of cool that the beavers have more than enough water now. No. You can never have enough water. Let's just say possibly enough water. For now. But we're always going to need more. And eventually we can build some larger tanks, but we need to research them. And they'll take, for example, the first one just takes 15 logs. The second one takes 30 logs and 20 gears. And then the top tier one is planks, gears, and metal. So there's quite a lot to manufacture to store more water that way. But in a pinch, you can always build more small ones quickly. And then, of course, with the new Demolish update, you can reclaim those materials, clear the area very quickly, and that's good. The beavers are happier than ever as well. We're at level 4. So essentially, what we want to do is keep them happy by getting the needs that are listed here completed. So they want things like, they want to get their fur wet, so we probably need to build something so they can go swimming. Some way to get down into the water, perhaps. There's also the different foods that they want to have, so everything from maple pastries to cattail crackers to grilled chestnuts. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's right. Yes, we can grow food from chestnut trees, too. That's awesome. Then they want things like a campfire, which is a social area. We can build that now, too. They have social needs. They're not just work, work, work. Sometimes they want to have a good time. We can build a campfire, too, and keep them happy. And I think that might also allows them to socialize. I always feel like whenever I build this is when they start having babies more. I always feel like this is kind of a meeting and hangout place, like a nightclub for the beavers. And that's when it starts going down. It starts going down. All right, let's build a little pathway there. So yeah, the coolest thing in this game is, of course, all the levees that you can build, and the floodgates, and building like dynamite and dirt extractors, and there's terraforming and terrain blocks too, so you can literally level a mountain or build a mountain too. You can build like a giant flood wall to prevent flooding in certain areas. So rather than dedicating wood to building like a dam here to keep the water out when you back it up, you can build like a large wall, which is more of a permanent thing, and it'll keep everything more safe that way. All right, well, we can start farming now, so let's go ahead and go with our standard carrots. We can also do sunflower seeds. That'll be something for them to eat. We need more of those trees cut down, so the farm will look a little goofy for now, and we're just going to do carrots at the start. Keep it simple. But it'll look good. Nice. All right, I think one more line should do us. And we don't want to plant too many crops, but we certainly want to do enough to where everybody can be fed. So prioritized actions, we can have one doing planting, or both doing planting, or harvesting. So we're going to quickly plant and then manually switch to harvest and then switch between the two. So hopefully we'll get enough beavers to start doing other things here eventually. Oh, we'll need planks here at the hauling district in order to complete that construction. Yeah, so that's something we'll build a little bit later. But a good thing that we put it down early, so that way we have space for it. Again, always a great idea to lay out your city, and then you could literally pause the game, place down all your buildings in advance, and then just on-pause things in the order in which you want them to be built, so that's good. All right, now they want us to plant 100 carrots, actually, or one of our little tutorial missions, so let's do that. It's good. It's a really good thing that they have that in there. It's a good guide. It's a nice thing. And it's not too intrusive either. It's not like it pops up on screen and like blocks the whole interface or anything like that. It's kind of just a little guide just saying, hey, plant some carrots, pal. All right, look, we've already built the large pile, and we have it set to logs. We have water tanks. Oh, we're ready to go. Build 2 warehouses. They want one to be built for carrots. Okay, that's a good idea. Good little reminder there. All right, let's go ahead and build that too. All right, another night. Oh, we need to set that to water. Good. And that'll be set to berries. Or carrots. So we'll have carrots done, and that'll be that goal complete too. All right, the drought's coming soon. I can guarantee it. Forecast is unknown. I think eventually we could build stuff to predict the weather, and that will be a good way to let us know when a drought is coming in advance. Okay, so we got inventors built. So now all we need is more beavers. We got too many jobs and not enough people to do them, but that's fine because they are doing important work. Gathering more logs is needed. Gathering berries is needed. And they're gathering a bunch of that too. Need to go gather some more. Let's build a road up here, if we can, to sneak past. And gather some berries up here too. Now this is the distance that we're probably going to want to start building another district, but at the moment we should be able to make it work. A little far to go, but okay for now. And our loggers should continue to cut down those trees too. Good. When a tree gets cut down, we can just replace it with a carrot. Gotta do a little babysitting at the farm, but all good. I think eventually when the farmers come into plant, then that's when we will see the stumps disappear. Alright, we gotta reallocate some labor here. Let's go ahead and make some jobs more important than others. Water needs to be a top priority. Farming needs to be a top priority. And I think we're gonna make everything else kind of mediocre. Mediocre. Got plenty of logs for now, but it's still important. We still want to gather those. We have 86 plus a ton of water. And let's assign this to carrots now. Yeah. Alright, job done. Now they want us to build 6 lodges. We have 4 already. So we could build some on the backside. Build a large complex out of this. And we'll build those too. Love seeing the beavers get to work. I hope in the future there's more pathing options. There is the ability to make wooden path. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, one of the coolest things we can do. I really love this. The, what would you call it? Like a boardwalk? I don't know what you'd call it. Something that goes above the ground. We could build like an elevated road that goes all over the other roads. So if we wanted to, we could connect 2 mountaintops together, and that's so cool. We could build like a large, like almost like a Wild West looking bridge, and that's really cool. Like you could build a massive like walkway across anything, and it could be built of wood, and so they don't have to walk on the ground. You can basically just make like an elevated city like on the 2nd floor and then connect it to another city on the other side. It looks really cool. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's like the Ewoks on Endor, and that's really cool. I love it. Oh, we can hold 180 logs here? That's good. I love how they've gotten rid of the log pile and just made it a generic storage. That's really cool. That makes it really nice for being able to store a lot of things outside, like a lumber yard outside or a log yard. It's really nice. Okay, the houses are done. We built the inventor, and they want us to build a water wheel now. Okay. Well, we'll probably build it over here. Brought a room down there for the old farms. Let's go to power and build a water wheel. Man, they're getting us to build a lot of stuff before the big old drought comes. Alright, we'll build that there. I think we also need to build a thing to get down into the... I don't know if we could build that from the shore. No, we can. Okay. Sometimes I thought we had to actually go down into the water to deliver that, but... Nope. And then from here, we'll probably build a sawmill. That'll take advantage of that old power. Oh, smelters and things, too. So many things to build, man. Gravity batteries, too, yep. There is the electricity production. Energy surplus, but you don't start with that. It's kind of like an extra thing on top of it. Kind of reminds me of Anno 1800 when you first start building that. It's all kind of physical labor for everything. And then eventually electricity comes along and changes everything. Very cool. That's what we're looking for, our old lumber mill. Build that right there. Now we could build this down the way and make the gears be able to provide power to multiple lumber mills. So let's kind of see if we can do that. We'll build one, connect it this way, and then maybe make a thing that goes around the backside of the buildings. Maybe. It could be cool. Alright, where's that drought? Where's that drought? 50 logs for that. Yeah, that takes a heck of a lot of lumber. The building isn't connected to a district by paths. Oh, it is a little too far. I knew it. Mm-hmm. Let's go with... Hard to tell. Wait. Does this need... Oh, that has a pathway. Oh, right here they mean. There we go. Is this the two trees in the way? Yeah, so you can see the red line. It's a little too far for them to walk, but it's okay for the first year. We'll make improvements to that. And look at that. All of the farming is done. At least the planting. Okay, cool. Let's add more food. We certainly want more for our first year. Yep. Go for carrots. And let's add even more. Alright, level 5 on their well-being. Fantastic. Must be the carrots that got delivered. Yep. Oh, and the campfire too. But no carrots yet. But they'll get there soon. Or planting. Alright, now we got to connect this to power. So let's go ahead and do that. Build a T-junction here. A T-he junction. T. Then we can wrap it around the building and build other stuff back here if we want to. I think we can mirror this building and kind of connect it to the backside, so that'll be cool. Alright, another 3 logs needed for that, so not too much to build that transmission. The power shafts, as they call them, so that's cool. Alright, and the building is powered. Need somebody to work there now. That'll take up a bunch of logs. Shouldn't that be rotating the other way? Is anybody else mad at that? Is that how it's supposed to go? I don't know. Maybe they just have one generic animation to show it's functioning. Literally unplayable. No, it's fine. Alright, let's build some more water storage since we've got a little extra logs. And again, we can always delete this. Totally fine. I love in these games when there's always options to delete, reclaim, and rebuild. You know, cities evolve over time, and things that were once useful kind of take up space and eventually could be reclaimed and then built into something else. So you'll have like an old railway station that can be expanded upon to fit the current needs of the city, or you can have like a stadium that's no longer needed in that area, demolish it, build some shopping mall, and rebuild the stadium on the other side of a city, and improve all the transportation for everybody, like a light rail, something like that, or a metro to bring everybody to the other side of the city faster, you know, just as examples. Pretty cool. We got options, people, and that's awesome. Alright, let's continue to cut down these little pesky trees. I think we can also order for these to be individually cut down, maybe? No. I don't think we can give a priority, but that'd be nice. Just a few holes in the farm that are unsightly, but not too much considering we've got all the rest of the farm built. Alright, so these are ready in 4 days. They'll create 3 carrots per plot. So let's take a look at food. We've got no berries and no carrots. Oh boy. That was going to be a close one. But we did build a water wheel, and we built the lumber mill. And they want us to build a forester now so we can replant the trees. So that'll be a useful thing here shortly. So they want us to research that. Not enough science points. And so we don't have anybody in science just yet. But that's fine. Let's continue to store water. There we go. So these are pretty close to being done. A lot of these are at like 70%. So it should just be another day. Hopefully these guys make it. If not, they will starve and die, unfortunately. But I think that's one of my biggest challenges of getting back into this game, is to get the flow of that first year. First, of course, you want to focus on water, and then after that you want to focus on food. But there's a few things you need to do before then in order to give everybody housing and start your city for the long term. It's kind of hard to just go right into farming right off the bat. But at least we got the farms fully filled. Everybody's working there, so that's good. We've done as best we can for a first run in a long time. I feel that way about Frostpunk, too. The first time I play Frostpunk in a while, regarding how many times I played it, that doesn't really matter. It's kind of more like you got to just get back in and have a couple of failures again until you really remember and get the feel of it. It's like riding a bike after a while. You remember how to ride it, but after a while, maybe you you get your strength back up and kind of remember, I don't know, what it's like to ride a bike or a motorcycle. You never forget, but you always got to improve. That's the opportunity for everything. Pretty good say. Oh, boy, everybody's rushing for the water. What are they doing? Were they getting drinks? What was that? They all went to like an empty tank. That's kind of funny. Goofballs. All right, everybody's going to go to sleep now. But the good thing is the carrots will continue to grow while everybody's sleeping. All right. They're at 85. Days to grow 4. What? The carrots are sleeping too? No, they're at 86. Well, they take a while, though. Let's see if it goes to 87. Yep, okay. So they do grow while they're sleeping. So that's good. At least we're kind of still being productive that way. I was going to freak out if they didn't allow us to do that. Well-being is now -7. Everybody hungry. I don't blame them. Ah, and in 3 days we have our drought. Yeah, we're going to prioritize harvesting as soon as they're ready. But we'll chalk up any deaths to experience. Fine. It's fine. So, 3 days, the water will be cut off. And we'll have to survive off of what we have. Oh, there's one of those underground bunkers that I mentioned. Underground ruins. Kind of weird what it is. Looks like a giant tree was growing there. I guess it's like a human bunker or something. I don't know. They don't really imply what happened to the human world. But it's kind of cool that it's like beavers. Like, I mean, it really makes it so that way you understand that the focus is primarily on controlling water. Which is something we all love to do in city skylines. And I wish there were more options for, rather than just building like the hydroelectric dam and, manipulating things to build a giant tsunami or something. It's really cool to be able to do more with the water. That's why the Natural Disasters DLC is fun. To be able to store water for a, like a giant fire or a drought. And be able to stop natural disasters that way. Alright, so we need 60 science. We need more beavers, I think, to do that science. But we're going to focus primarily on the survival stuff. And hey, there we go. Harvesting is taking place. We got some beavers now that'll go grab some food for us. Let's go ahead and turn these off. Are these off? Yeah. They're not as important at the moment. Everybody's coming over to grab some food. Good. Alright, so lots and lots of harvesting going on. Yeah, always recommended to build those 2 farms. Harvesting takes a little bit of time. That's something that they didn't tell us, did they? I think they only told us to build 1 farm, but you certainly want to build more than 1. Lots of beavers to feed, and the faster you can gather that food. Another thing is, too, it might be a good idea to build 1 farm, wait for 2 days to pass, because it takes 4 days to grow, I think. 3 or 4 days, but you can essentially stagger it or have like different harvest times. You can have 1 field planting while the other one then is harvested the next day, and there's only like 1 downtime. So you can have crop rotation essentially, and not necessarily crop rotation, but more like 3 or 4 fields to make it so that way planting takes place one day, harvesting the next, and make sure they alternate between the multiple farms that you have. And it can be said for any crop, really. That's a good thing to do. Yeah, all those carrots are ready. They've only gathered a few with a full day of work. Wow. All right, let's get some more food going, guys. Harvesting takes a very long time. Hopefully we're producing enough water. We may have gotten more beavers, too. So maybe our numbers went up. We have 4 little babies. Aw. 4 little baby beavers. Build another water pump if we can. Just somewhere to plop one down. Like most of these areas are blocked. I really don't want to bother the blueberries at all. Could build one here. And a pathway to go there. Oof. Ugh. Well, I made it as best I could. We'll have to move some of those bushes out of the way. Nobody's working at the blueberry hut there, so good. We got everybody in the farming area now. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's unassign workers from here, from the blueberry huts. Now, we don't want to delete that, but we'll just pause that, and hopefully they'll become scientists then next, or work at the sawmill. But hopefully that keeps everybody happy. Oh, we cut down a lot of trees. A lot of trees. Okay, these ones can be shut down too until we build that forester. And now some of the other jobs hopefully will be taken. Cutting down logs up there. Good. Certainly won't be doing much of any building shortly. Oh yeah, things are looking good. Proud of our city. Since these don't take any material, we could just leave them there. That's fine. A lot of these small posts are just kind of free. You don't really need to do anything to build them. That's good. Ah, one of the children became an adult. Okay. Not sure how long it takes for a child to be born, and then how long it takes a child to become an adult, or how any of that works with their housing. But I would assume maybe if there's housing for 3, 2 people will then have a child. If 2 beavers move in, they'll then have a child if they're in the same home. It could work like how it does in Banished, and that's pretty cool. All right, cycle 1, day 13. We got about a day, less than a day now till the drought comes in, so farming is going to be important here. Now, I don't think we'll have enough materials or time to build the dam, but we can try to get it started at least. So if we go for... yeah, it's 20 logs per section, so we can build it across here this way. That'll try to keep some water in and allow us to access the other side of the river. Means more trees and some more fertile farmland. We can eventually grow trees here, farming here, and then maybe more housing up here with more farming of trees and things down there, whatever we need. Oh, this needs a pathway too, doesn't it? Let's see, how do we demolish? Mark resource for demolition there and there. Oh, thanks, guys. Perfect. All right, now another water pump will function. You guys are done. Now that they're done with that, let's plant some more carrots. Good job, guys. Good job. Oh, there's one more tree there, but it'll add character to the fields. That's fine. Totally fine. Oh, everybody's well fed. All right, we saved everybody. I hope. I really hope we did. I hope so. Very nice. Now let's pause that. Gotta have some more logs coming in. Oh, good. We got some people doing science. So how much have we gathered of science? 7. Okay, so we just need 60 for the forestry building. Then we can start regrowing trees, and we can focus on that after the drought. Almost feels like New Year's when the drought comes around. And the blueberries are regrowing. We'll try to gather those before the drought comes, I suppose. What do we got going on for jobs? I think we'll cut the science for now. We won't be able to research much before the drought. So we'll reallocate that to pumping and... yeah, building planks. All right, here comes the drought. Can we survive? Drought started. There goes the water. Goodbye. So yeah, if we had our dam done the first year, a lot of the water would just back up between here and there, and it would keep the ground pretty fertile. Things won't dry out right away. It'll take a little bit of time, so it'll give us plenty of time to prioritize the gathering of things. And when it does dry out, the land dries out, the crops will still have a little bit of time to be harvested. So there's a little bit of a grace period. So as you can see, they're all turning this color, and it says it'll die in 1.8 days. So we do have a little bit of time to harvest. So all these crops just didn't die. We have a little bit of time to gather them and replant them. But, yep, we can shut down the sawmill since there's no water power. And we'll focus on that dam. But yeah, so we can replant crops once the water returns. That's a good thing. All right, the pumps can basically be shut down. It'd be nice if we could set certain industries to shut down if there were no water. Like the pumps, since they can't pump, well, don't worry about it. Okay, let's go back to inventors. Yeah, I'd say you almost need like maybe 4 farms in an area. At least at the start, it's nice to gather a ton of carrots or something like that. What's your problem, sir? Oh, we need to build something for them. There needs to be a sharpening thing for them, for their health. Priorities. Power, sciences, well-being. Ah, there it is, a grindstone. Okay. Sorry about that, pal. Let's get you one over here. We'll start with 1. And everyone will come over to build. I like how the beavers carrying items move a little slower. As you can see, once they grab a log, they slow down a bit. The hauling post will kind of negate that. So once we build that, once beavers start working there, they'll be able to haul stuff faster and kind of be dedicated to the job. They become beaver truckers, brother. Hell yeah. That's kind of a nice thing. There he goes. Ooh, there you go. All right. That'll fix him up. Yeah, all right. So the forester, we just need a little bit more science for that. What are we at? 16. So it'll be a while, but we just need the 60, right? Mm-hmm. That'll be probably plopped down over here, and we'll continue to regrow trees and kind of start farming them, essentially. Not that they just plant at random. They can actually build farm fields, kind of like how the farm works. What is that? Oh, a little box of carrots sitting there? Oh, I've never seen that before. Do they actually crate things up to carry it around? Oh, they do. Cool. Oh. That might be new because, yeah, it shows you what's in the warehouse. So at a glance, you can see how many berries and how many carrots are there. We might be able to store those outside too, perhaps. No, but we could store dirt. Oh, boy. We could do dirt. Oh, that's going to be good for terraforming. Oh, that's awesome. And you'll be able to see it that way too. So now we have external storage for that. That's cool. Metal blocks, planks, scrap metal too, and treated planks. Oh, that's huge. That's really good. That outdoor storage is really awesome. It's like a bulk storage for outside. And that means you can save all the space for warehouses now. And so warehouses are kind of more like granaries, and that's really cool. I love it. Is this a McDonald's? Because I'm loving it, really. I'm blown away. That's cool. Update 2 was cool. Update 1 was cool. Update 3, even better with the quality of life stuff. And I like the fact that they've redone a lot of the storage, because one of the things in this game that you'll never stop needing is storage. Both in terms of houses, so people have a place to live, and also all the little water storages. But now, of course, water storage is better. Liquid storage now. It says small tank, so it's not necessarily water storage, but that'll be probably what you use it for first and foremost. That's cool. Loggers doing logging. Hell yeah, brother. And lots of logs coming in. Means we can build that dam finally. And we got to make a road to that, don't we? So let's make it so you guys can make a little road on over there. A rodent. Yeah, that was bad, I know. All right, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60. 160 logs will be needed to build across to the other side. And that will kind of prevent droughts from being so impactful for the next few years. What will happen eventually is that the droughts will last for longer and longer, so we'll need more and more water storage. So we'll need ways to store it probably beyond the tank. So that's why there's this large pit here. And you can also fill up this whole area with water too. We've done all this before in this map, played many times, and it's been a lot of fun each and every time. And every update's always a great excuse to get back into the game. If there wasn't the Steam sale going on right now, which, by the way, remember, until January 5th of 2023, this game will be 20% off. But it could extend past that because the update came out on the 22nd of... Or no, sorry, it came out on the 15th of December. Steam had its Steam sale on the 22nd of December until the 5th. So you have a few days to get it for its extendo sale. Typically, these games go on sale whenever there's an update, so if Update 4 comes out, you can always add that to your wish list or whatnot until that update comes out, if you're looking to get it. But it certainly is highly recommended for all the ability to manipulate water, and of course, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's got dynamite, so, I mean, how could you not, really? I mean, so many games don't let you blow things up with dynamite. But this really reminds me a lot of Workers and Resources and Tropico more than it does City Skylines. It's more like Banished in a resource survival simulator than anything else. And of course, now we're in a dry, barren wasteland. I mean, how else would you survive without food and water? Everything's dead. But it comes back to life eventually. All these trees, when supplied with water again, will stop wilting, and they actually have some resilience. They just can't really be used to their full potential until then. Looks like the carrots have died to death. Yep. We only missed a few carrots, so not bad. Our group was able to gather a bunch of food. 243 carrots, and then 30 berries remain. I think we're in the clear. Let's speed up time to finish this off. The drought will only last for another 0.4 days. And then the farm, once the water returns. That's another big thing, is that when the drought is over, it still takes about another day for the water to kind of get downriver and reach the farm. So it will be a little extra time than the water just basically being turned on like electricity. It's not like a flip of a switch where water can just be turned right back on. It has to flow naturally, and so thus we can take advantage of that. But hey, the forester's ready to go. Let's go with that. Cool. And now we can plop that down. Maybe right about meow. Right about meow. And a district center and a district gate. Yeah, we can separate districts that way. That's a much more advanced thing that unfortunately we won't see today, but oh well. The day is won. We have ourselves water. Here it comes. Yay! And it returns. So now what will happen is the beavers will continue to build their little dam over there. We'll get to the other side of the river, and we'll have ourselves a fantastic life as beavers. Go ahead and prioritize planting. And the day is won for now. Now you can kind of see where the water will flow back. There's some overflow things on the top, so it won't completely back up the river until we build levees or floodgates to control, which we can do so manually or automatically. All right, guys, that is it for today's episode on Update 3 of Timberborn, out now on Steam. If you got the game, the update is free. If you don't have it, now's a good time to get into it if you're curious to build your own beaver survival city. But thanks to the devs again for sponsoring today's episode, and we'll have some more live streams on Timberborn as well. So come on by and feel welcome to ask questions. And I'm looking forward to seeing all your comments and tips and tricks for new players. Thank you for being kind and helpful and respectful down below in the comment section. Thanks again for leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and I hope you all are well. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care, have a wonderful afternoon, good evening, and a good night. Goodbye, everybody. Yay.